Today, we're going to talk about a topic that can transform our spiritual lives if we understand it correctly. Zeal for God. What does it mean to have zeal for Him? How can we be passionate in our faith without falling into fanaticism or legalism? And above all, how can we live with fervor, as Romans 12:11 exhorts us, without losing balance? Zeal for God is not an uncontrolled emotion or an obsession with imposing our beliefs on others, nor is it about following strict rules to prove that we are better Christians. Healthy zeal is a fire that comes from genuine love for God and His will. It's a passion that moves us to seek His presence, defend His truth, and serve others with humility. But how do we avoid falling into fanaticism? The key lies in love. The Apostle Paul said it clearly in 1 Corinthians 13. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries, but do not have love, I am nothing. Zeal without love becomes pride, judgment toward others, and a cold, empty religion. In the Bible, we find examples of holy zeal. One of them is King David. His passion for God was so intense that he danced with all his might when the Ark of the Covenant was brought to Jerusalem. Although some criticized him, David was not ashamed to express his love for God. His zeal was not to impress others, but to glorify his Creator. Another example is the Apostle Paul. Before his conversion, his zeal led him to persecute Christians, thinking he was serving God. But after encountering Jesus, his zeal was transformed into a passion to take the gospel to all nations. Paul learned that true zeal is not about imposing but serving, not about destroying but building. So how can we live with fervor without falling into legalism? First, let's remember that our relationship with God is not based on rules but on grace. We are not saved by what we do, but by what Christ has done for us. Second, let's keep our focus on love. Healthy zeal always seeks to edify, never to destroy. And third, let's be humble. Let's acknowledge that we don't know everything and that we need the guidance of the Holy Spirit to live in balance. Romans 12:11 tells us, never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. That's the secret. A fervor that doesn't come from ourselves, but from the Spirit of God. A fervor that drives us to love, serve, and glorify God in everything we do. So today, I invite you to examine your heart. Is your zeal for God based on love and humility? Are you serving with fervor without falling into legalism? Remember, healthy zeal is not about impressing others, but about honoring the one who loved us first. Thank you for joining us in this episode of La Voz del Principio. If this message has impacted you, don't forget to share it and leave us your comments. Until next time, and remember, live with fervor, but always in the love of Christ.